Hey, what's up, everybody? Happy Wednesday, and welcome to another live stream from your Usawa Fitness show host, Vern Coles. Hey, I'm glad y'all here. Guess what, y'all? It's my first live stream from the garage gym that I built almost a year ago. All right, I built this garage in October, and today I'm gonna tell y'all a little bit about some of the do's and don'ts, some of the ways that I made mistakes, and other ways that I feel like I killed it. Now, if you here, please reach out to me in the comments and let me know if you got audio and you got video, you seeing and hearing me, okay? This been like a straight up train wreck today because they changed some things in the software that I'm using to actually, produce this live stream, and I can't seem to get any feedback on what's happening on the YouTube end. So I'm gonna check here as we go, and then we'll edit this up a little bit for you guys who are checking this out after I've done the actual record. But either way, if you hear or you come in, I'll keep asking you to let me know if you can hear me. But anyway, I'm just gonna take it easy, y'all. This is gonna be kind of just like a cool little talk, and I'm just gonna really go over, what it takes to build something like this from the ground up. And one of the things, that I know is that practice makes perfect. Now I done built all this equipment in here, and now I'm fast at building stuff because I built that Fitness Reality A10 XLT Supermax Power Cage, Sunny Health and Fitness Power Zone Strength Rack M4, Mikolo M4 Smith machine, just tons of different, all 5, 6 different, probably like 8 or 9 different benches and things like that. And after you do things over and over again, you get better and better. And even though this is my first full build out of a garage gym, a lot of what I've learned along the way, I feel like is priceless if you've never done it before. It looked like somebody's here with me. If you here, do me a favor, even if you gotta go, could you just please reach out in the comments and let me know that you're hearing and seeing my video? I just wanna make sure I got a connection before I sit up here and talk for, 10 minutes to an hour. I just wanna know that it's working. But anyway, I feel like over time, I just learned a lot. And you just starting from the jump, the first thing that I feel like you need to concern yourself when you building out a garage, if you're going straight from raw, is getting that insulation, figuring out how you're going to heat or cool it. Because if you're used to being in your nice hot house or your cool house, depending on the season, and it always feels the same. But I'm going to tell you, when a garage, it feels much different. If you don't believe me, head over into somebody's garage midday and see what it feels like. It's probably going to be warmer inside than outside. And that's one of those things that I'm glad I did my research on. I live in Chicago, and I knew I had to research this up because it's going to get super cold in the winter and probably pretty hot in the summer. What I learned on that winter side is that you're going to need, I got a 2-car garage, all right? So you need some heat. And the best thing you could do is, let me just go back before I talk about how to heat it. Let me talk about what you want to do to insulate these walls. If you don't have insulation and you want to work out in here and you don't want to be sitting in here in a snowsuit, I'm gonna strongly advise you insulate those walls. You can get you're gonna look for the Pink Panther guy, and you're gonna insulate your walls. It's not ultra expensive, but the project is not cheap. So if you think about buying a power rack or something like that, that's how much it's gonna cost you to actually insulate the walls on a garage like this. This is if you're going from raw. A lot of you guys are already gonna have this stuff and it's not gonna matter. But I wanna do this video in a way that people who are watching understand the full spectrum of what it takes to get something like this done. Again, I'm gonna ask you, if you watching the video, please just give me a thumbs up in the comments if you are getting audio and video, because I'm running into some things that I want to make sure you guys can hear and see me. I don't need you to comment anywhere, any we're past that, but please reach out. I just want to know that everybody can hear and see me. But moving on. So you're going to want to insulate your space up, because that insulation is going to be key to both your winter and summer performance, because it's going to keep the hot air out, and it's going it's going to keep the hot air in, and it's going to keep the cool air out, depending on the season, obviously. But then when it comes to that door, believe it or not, that's one of your biggest enemies, is that metal door. Because if you go touch that door midday, it's going to be flaming hot. All right, you put a temperature gauge to it, it's going to say 100-something degrees, and that's another way that you're going to lose a lot of your cool air if you're cooling the place off, and that's also where you're going to lose a lot of your heat if you're trying to warm the place up. All right. Oh, Leslie, hey, I thank you so much. I appreciate that. I've been real nervous because I'm running in. This is my first one from in here, and I'm running into a couple of obstacles. So I'm eternally grateful for you reaching out. That calms me down and let me kind of, get into this a little bit better. But so when it comes down to when you start trying to figure out how to cool that garage door, you're going to want to get you some garage door insulation kits, and they're much cheaper than they're not cheap, but they're cheaper than the stuff you put on the walls, and you wound up getting 8 pieces to a pack. So if you got a single car garage, you get 1 pack. If you got 2, you get 2, and then it can move on bigger than that from there. But I'm saying all that to say this: you're going to want to put some insulation in your walls if you're starting off from scratch. And that's just going to help you, because the heating and cooling is huge. And it's a headache when you have to come out here and it says it's 110 degrees in your garage and you're trying to get a HIIT workout in. It's just dangerous, all right? You out here by yourself, if you working out by yourself and it's super hot, and it just becomes a situation that it's dangerous. All right, let's be real. All right, it feels good, but you have no one here with you in my case, because I work out here by myself. I also don't want my friends and family and whoever is in here with me to be burning up while we working out or freezing. So when you get past the fact of starting from the scratch and getting your walls insulated and everything, we're going to talk about the ceiling later. But then it's what you use to heat it up. Now, in the wintertime, I use a couple of things. I'm going to list everything that I use in the comments. I'm not going to be pulling this stuff up in this video, because this is going to be a long video, and I didn't go ahead and give you like video or photo examples. I'll edit those in later. But I use a couple of different heaters. I got one 1,500 watt heater, and I got and it's one of those Dr. Heat. I'll show you guys. I got videos on these things too. And then I got another one that's like a old school, like straight up old school, like radiator heater, and I like them both. I would like to have 2 1,500 watt heaters running at the same time, but here's something else you got to think about. A lot of garage, the way they build a lot of garages, they don't put the same amount of circuitry. Everything's running off one circuit. So you have to make sure that you have enough power in here to be able to run multiple units like that, plus everything else that you have in your garage that you may have on at the time when you actually working out. So that's another thing to think about. Too much humidity and heat in California in my basement gym. Yeah, you running a 1,500 watt window AC. Now, see, that's what I would love to have. Now, okay, who is that? Ali. Ali, you bringing up an ultra good point. The problem is I don't have no windows in my garage, because right now that would actually be the game changer for me. And I would love to have one in here, but like I said, I have no windows, so I had to go a different route. And I had to get one of these. I got a Black & Decker, basically portable unit in here. And man, it let me down. That thing is cost about $450, and it's supposed to cool 450 square feet, but it's not like those window units. And I wish that I had one of them coming in here myself, but I had to use this. And that's what's going to force me to actually insulate the ceiling, because it will cool it off in here when the sun isn't hitting my garage roof. But when the sun hits that roof, it flames everything up. So now I'm going to have to insulate the roof as well. And then I'm hoping after I do that, the unit that I have will cool this room off enough. This is a huge room for that to, it's pushing the cusp of what that's supposed to be able to do. But I had to cut a hole in the wall for this kind of unit. And like I said, I'll show you guys some videos on all of this, or you can look in my video catalog, and most everything I'm talking about, I have a full-length video for, but so you can actually see visually what I'm talking about. But anyway, so once I use, a couple of those garage heaters, and I had to make sure that, I got a fridge in here. I got all these lights that I always run, because this is not only my garage gym, but also my YouTube studio. So I need to be able to light it up. I got a huge light over there, another little light over here, one behind me. I got all the production going on. And if during the video you hear something like that, that's somebody else lifting up their garage. But I got my garage door open so I could enjoy a little cool air in here while I do this video. But anywho, so let's move on. So we've been talking about heating the garage. That's one thing that I'm going to tell you, heating and cooling is huge if you want to be able to enjoy your space to the fullest. Now, we all can go guerrilla style and get it in any type of weather and feel great about it. You guys know, if you follow my channel for a while, you've seen me in the backyard actually doing videos where it's, 15 degrees outside and, a foot of snow. I'll get it in. I don't have to have perfect conditions, but when we able to create conditions that are better, why not? I got a garage gym, right? And you do too. So if you get to a point where you can upgrade your space with these kind of things, then you go for them, all right? So I'm not saying that, you have to have these things. All I'm saying is that having a space that you can be most comfortable in because you took time to build it out is a beautiful thing, all right? So let's move on. Let's get past the whole garage heating situation. Now, the next thing, before you put everything into your garage space, you got to think about flooring. This is something that I didn't think about. I didn't think this through the first time I built my garage space. I thought it through a little bit because the floor was gray. I went and got some of this black paint. I painted it, and it looked fantastic. I thought that was awesome, and I was happy with that. But then the next thing I did was go get some of that foam flooring, all right, the interlocking tiles. And I went and I did a video on that because I was really impressed. But I figured out a way to get them cheaper by going and getting them, from Amazon in the slightly used section. And I thought that was fantastic at the time. But man, that was a mistake because I wound up paying twice, because that if you just sit a piece of equipment on that foam stuff and it's just sitting in one place, and you don't do a lot of things like burpees and a lot of lateral huge movements, you're going to be okay. But if you start doing those type of movements and you shift on that foam flooring, it starts to move around, it starts to come up, it reshapes, and it don't look great, It's usable, all right? I'm not dogging on it. If, that's what if that's what fits your budget, we talk about balling on a budget, that's what you get. That's what you work with. Maybe you upgrade later, maybe you don't. But what I will say is that for me, it wound up not being enough for my gym. And it was also, you know, when I dropped like heavy weights on it, I was like, man, am I gonna crack my garage floor? You know, and it didn't look good. It didn't feel good, and I wasn't confident with it on it. It was slippery. Whenever I would use things like my Swiss balls on it, I was on edge, especially if I had a client or somebody on it. It feel like it could just slide off. And so it didn't have, you know, that friction that you would want, that you would find at the gym. And so that was a mistake, you know, and that's one of those things you need to put down before you lay down the rest of your gym, because, you know, you don't want to do it twice. I don't want to go over there and move that Mikolo M4 Smith machine to lay down something underneath it, which I end up having to do. What's up, Justin? Good to see you, man. Thank you for stopping in. Thanks all of you all for stopping in. I appreciate y'all. Yeah, I'm going to talk about this flooring right now, man, because that was a game changer. Yeah, you rocking the concrete floors and a few mats. Hey, and guess what? That's what you rock with, right? I mean, you rock with what you could rock with until you could make your changes, right? We building our gyms. If you got a love for the game, as you go, you're going to create different parts of your space to be more like what you want it to be. And let me go ahead and let y'all know something. You getting a full Vern today, okay? Obviously, when I do, you're here. You know me, most of you, because you came to the channel and you've been watching my videos and so forth. And I obviously want to make those as tight as possible and make everybody feel comfortable with what they're seeing, because I'm trying to show you a product. I want you to be fully confident in everything I'm saying. But right now, you know, there's no scripts. There's no, you know, practices and me cutting out the mistakes. You just about to get the real Vern D-O-double-G, giving it to you live and direct. So stick with me. Getting rubber 12 by 15 spaces less than 4. Yeah, see, I have a tractor trailer supply 3. Yeah, okay, so you're looking at them horse stall mats. Another great option. All of these, I like it, y'all. Look in the comments, because these will give you suggestions. We're all here because we have gyms at home, or we want gyms at home. We study these things. I'm just somebody with a platform, but the comments is a great place to learn from some other people. And then, you know, you could click on their channel and on their icons and maybe go over to them and ask them questions, or you can ask them questions right here, right now in this live feed. So, hey, I'm humble. I want to teach you guys what I've learned in here. I'm more than willing to engage and learn from you. So, you know, when you hear, it's a community atmosphere, and I want y'all to, you know, let me know what y'all think as we go. I'm gonna tell you about horse stall mats and I'll give you some of the pros and cons of all of these things. But when dealing with the flooring, I wound up reaching out to this company, Rubber Flooring Direct. As if you watch the video, they did supply me with a whole garage full of flooring. And I'm not pumping this up for the fact that they gave it to me and I'm trying to get you to buy from them. I don't have a affiliate link with them, but I do love that they gave me this stuff and they trusted in my small channel to, you know, give me all of this for free, and then let me do a review and run it past you all. But that has been the number, bar none, the nicest upgrade to my gym space that I ever had, because it makes it look like you in a real gym space. And whether or not you building out your whole gym or a part of your gym, or, you know, you putting mats underneath a certain piece of equipment, this stuff is like 8 pounds for one 2x2 towel. The towels are apples to oranges for what you get when you get the 2x2 foam ones, but they like so dense that you don't have to worry about cracking your floor. You know, they look good. I'm hoping they're going to add some insulation and give me a few degrees this winter when it gets a little bit warmer, because we won't be, you know, on that soft mat or the concrete floor itself. So horse stall mats are phenomenal, okay? The only thing that I ever hear about horse stall mats, and I'm sure it goes away over time, is that they tend to have a odor to them. But I got, like I said, I got no problem. I thought about doing horse stall mats in this gym, and then, you know, I reached out to a bunch of companies, and like I said, Rebel Flooring Direct sent me this beautiful flooring. And if you haven't seen that video, check it out for me. I think it's one of my best jobs editing. And I started doing some new things that you may see in some of my newer videos where I put the words up in the side, the graphics, you know. I'm trying, y'all. I'm trying to make y'all want to watch my videos for as long as possible and hit the comments and the like buttons. Yeah, that's a shout out to do that. Okay, go ahead. It's cool. Man, I love doing this. Justin will know. I feel like Leslie, like I used to do these every weekend, and I love doing live streams. I love just getting on here and just being able to talk and be able to be loose with it and everything, y'all. So thanks for being here and let me clown with you and give you some of this information, but let's keep it moving. So we've been talking about that flooring. That's a big one, okay? So once you got your flooring, if y'all been following my channel, my first cage was the Fitness Reality ATN XLT Supermax Power Cage. Still, bar none, my favorite power cage. All right, y'all know I had a little beef with, you know, the lat pull down system that they made, but it don't change how I feel about Fitness Reality ATN XLT, the power cage. It is my favorite cage of all time. All right, but I feel great that I got that. That fit well in my gym. The Star Max did smell a bit the first few days. I let them air out, but the interlocking towels you have are the best option because they're flat and don't shift. But what I did here, and I knew I do like them for that reason. But I feel like if you know how you have to cut the horse stall mats, if you could just bunch them up to the point where they tight up against the edges of your garage or your space, would that help? I don't, because I cut these where they straight. They all the way connected, but you're right. That's what the problem I was running into with them, with those foam mats. They was bunching up, and then I felt like somebody could fall on them at times and things like that. So they had me on edge a lot, But anyway, I feel. Let me see one quick thing. What is this? Oh, nice, y'all. Check this out. I didn't know I could like y'all comments and stuff. All right, that's new. I like that. All right, let me keep it moving. I never done that. I just hit it. I don't move much due to the weight, and I have equipment on it, but I duct taped them. Okay, yep, same thing. There you go. There's somebody telling you exactly what to do if you got the horse stall mats. And I'm probably never going to be able to give you that information because I've laid this in, and this probably is never going to come out. So like I said, don't snooze on the comments when you, in any video that, I always roll through the comments just to see what other people are saying other than, the host of the YouTube channel person, whatever y'all call us. I don't like to call us influencers. They call us influencers a lot, and but I hate that. I don't really love that term. I just say I got a YouTube channel. But let me get a little water real quick, y'all. So I was talking about the cage. So I got that cage. And if you got a space, I'm going to say that's a great place to start. All right. I love that cage. There ain't even a place to start. That's just a great, it's cheap. You can get the Fitness Reality cage with the lat pull down for $500, okay? I got that one, and I also got a Sunny Health and Fitness Power Zone strength rack. That one's a little bit more pretty. It's got some, it's got some nicer J hooks and safety bars, but it got 3/4 inch holes, and this is an issue because those 3/4 inch holes prevent you from doing a lot of cool things that you could do on the Fitness Reality ATN XLT Supermax Power Cage. That's for you, Mom. My mom always tripping on how I gotta say the whole word for everything that I review, but I don't know. I'm kind of funny, but that cage has 1-inch holes. Those are standard, and what that'll allow you to do is to hook up a lot of second party uh, um, uh, pieces of equipment onto your machine without any issues. That Sunny Health and Fitness rack, you got to buy what they have or nothing. And so I really wouldn't advise you get that over the Fitness Reality Cage if you want to expand and do some cool things. You could add, like, maybe you could get like a leg support. I see your message coming through. I'm gonna be on you in 2 seconds. You could add maybe like a knee extension, a leg curl, all different type of things you could add to a cage, but you won't be able to do it on a cage like the Sunny Health and Fitness one because those holes aren't the proper size. Fitness Reality is a reason why I would suggest that, because if you're not going to upgrade to a different system like I have now with this Smith machine, you want to be able to upgrade what you have to the max, all right? Right? The cage is just such a good one. I'm agreeing with you, Justin, on everything. That it's a great place to start, because a lot of people will look at their space, and if you're in a garage gym, y'all, you got the space, all right, for a cage. Because if you get one of those benches that has supports for sorry, y'all, I'm drawing a lot of macro. I'm stuttering and everything all over the place. But if you got your rack system, right, you got a adjustable weight bench, but it also has a rack. That's a lot of space. It's going to be 6 foot wide. It's going to be the distance of the actual bench itself, and that's enough room for any one of these racks that I talked about, okay? So you got the space, and once you got a cage, you're going to be able to have safety bars for your benching, so you can go so heavy. Like I mentioned before, you by yourself, you working out, that bar gets stuck on your chest. Nah, if I want to go super heavy, I can set the safety hooks on my cage where I can just drop it down onto the safety clamps if I need to, and that's a really good safety thing. And if you got kids, or you got a boo or a bae, talk to them and let them know that you getting them something safer and upgrade them to something like that, okay? It's a great piece to have. But here's the thing. This is a money thing, all right? So we talking about balling on the budget. We talking about first pieces of equipment. But if I had the money and I was in a garage gym space, and I would actually go with, and you don't need to get the Mikolo M4 Smith machine, but I'm gonna tell you, I really like having a Smith machine in here. And I'm gonna give you the reasons why. Number one, you getting those independent pulley systems, okay? If you seen my DIY curl fly that I created for my Sunny Health and Fitness Power Zone Strength Rack, you'll notice that I can do flies and pulley exercises, but it's still pulling one section of weights. And even if you get that super cool Fitness Reality set of pulleys, you're going to find, that's also pulling from a single weight position. When you get something like a Smith machine, or if you can find a power rack that has independent weight stacks for each handle, that's ginormous. It's going to upgrade you a lot. It's going to mean you can work 2 people at one time, your buddy, your friend, your client, whatever. But it's also going to allow you to hit muscles a lot more differently than you can with the makeshift DIY curl fly that we came up with, or that Carol came up with and I introduced to you guys. I love it. Awesome. But if you got the money, a Smith machine can be a better option, because you can still do your free lifting weights if you get, because they thought this out a little bit better than they used to, because when you look at versions at the gym, they don't have it where you have safety hooks outside the gym that allow you to work with an Olympic bar that's not attached like you find on the Smith machine. For those of you who don't know what a Smith machine is, it's just a piece of equipment that actually, let me see if I can pull up. I might have an old barbell roll-in, dumbbell bench, barbell waist. Nah, I thought I might have. I might be able to pull one up for you guys, but I can't. A Smith machine will have two bars that have a guided Olympic bar on it. And, you know, a lot of people don't like to lift under those, but you still have the option to lift under that, with that, and outside the cage. And you also get a ton of storage. You can see over my shoulder that green weight up there, that blue, or that red and that blue. You get all of this storage. And when it comes down to final cost, you may find that the cost isn't as much, it isn't so much more expensive than what you thought you were going to get. It isn't so much more expensive than what you get when you get one of these cages that don't have all the accessories included, because they wound up giving you a ton of accessories, and you wound up, a lot of times, you know, you don't even have to get the Olympic bar because you got that guided Olympic bar. And, you know, when you get one that's not guided, that's going to be anywhere between $100 and $300, depending on which one you get. You're going to also get your lap pull down system included. You get, you know, the double bars. You're getting all kind of handles. You get a ton of stuff. Do your research. You're watching me here. I'm giving you some ideas, and I'm just telling you how to do this like a boss. You know, you want to set up your gym like a pro. Here are some things you could do to really elevate your gym space when you're building it out. And I would say take your time. Don't rush and jump off the cliff because you're so excited that you go buy something. Maybe you got to save up a few more chips, and you look at your other options. Maybe you got to wait until the season, you know, you building out your gym and it's October, and you know a month away from that prime day deal that is Black Friday. Maybe you wait, but, you know, try to do your research, because you invest in a lot and you building a space that you hopefully gonna have for a very long time. And, you know, you don't want to have to be balling on the budget, wasting some of your budget money by having to double up. So that's something to think about when we talk about that first big addition to the gym, which I think is some type of rack. And I would say, go big, y'all. Go big. It's like tattoos. You see all these tattoos. If you ever speak to somebody that get tattoos, you'll get the first one. I remember when I got this one, I'm a Christian. I got this one, and it's just Jesus, you know, and you got a little little black Jesus, you know. And underneath it says, God is my refuge, and that's my daughter's middle name. It's what, you know, it's what her middle name means. And I told the guy, I was like, y'all just want a little one? He's like, well, you could go bigger. And I was worried about it being underneath the sleeve of my shirt, because at the time I was working in corporate America as an editor, video editor. And I just, you know, I didn't want people to see it. And I told the guy, this is it, man. I'm good. I want that one tattoo. And he was like, oh, you'll be back. And I was like, no, man, I thought this out, man. I got Jesus on my arm, man. I'm done. And then a couple years later, I walked in and I wanted to get this stuff that goes around it, these clouds and stuff. And the first thing he said to me is, I told you you'd be back. Y'all, it was like 4 years later. And I was like, dang, dude, calling me out 4 years later. He remembered. He's like, man, you know, this is what you do. And so I did that, and I kind of wish I had went bigger, because now it's very hard to see the details inside of the cross, you know? And so then, you know, when I got these, I'm like, all right, now I get it. I'm going big because I got a certain amount of real estate and I wanted to always look good. So I did that. Don't laugh, Ali. You know what I'm saying? You got a tattoo, dog. You probably know what I'm talking about. You seen some people, you heard this kind of story before. But I say all that to say, go big, you know, go big, because you're going to find, man, these mosquitoes been getting me, y'all. That's why you see me reaching behind. I need my back scratcher. Somebody gave me a back scratcher for Christmas one year, and I love it. I'm like, y'all, I should have had it out here, freaking y'all out, scratching my back with a back scratcher while I'm trying to do a live stream. Anyway, you know, so I would say go big. Put your chips to the side, y'all. Don't rush. Figure out your budget. figure out the things that you can get that you know are going to be in here forever, and then maybe go smaller on some of the stuff that you could replace easier, like a weight bench. I just did a review on the weight bench. I don't know where it is. Over here. And I didn't review it yet, but we're still working with it. But it was $89, and it's a great bench. It holds 600 pounds. It's small. So, but if that was something that I could get later, and I could say get a better piece of large equipment that I'm never gonna move again, I would go that route. All right. I'm telling you my opinion, y'all. And you don't have to, you hear I'm just telling you, okay? I would go bigger because you're not gonna have to worry about feeling like, how am I gonna get rid of this this rack that I bought to replace it with a rack that is gonna be better for me long term. You want to go with your starter gear, but at the same time, you really want to max out what you get so that you can future-proof the gym that you train in or working out in. I love all three of these pieces of equipment work, but I do really like having a Smith machine just because it allows me to do some things that I couldn't do with my power rack and my lat pull down system that came with it. Now, we talked about heating. We talked about flooring. We talked about, now we got big stuff in here. And you don't have to go in this order. Guess what? Some of y'all are only building, but some of you guys are building for a room, right, in your home. And you don't have the kind of space that will take any of those pieces of equipment. Then you can start thinking about, building out your home gym with a set of dumbbells, a small bench that you could push underneath a bed or put it in a closet. That's a gym too. Let me back up and talk about that, all right? I mean, hey, I told you I'm going to be here for a while. So, you hang out with me. If you need to step out for a minute, come back, whatever. But I'm kicking it right now. Yeah, so height is another issue, right? I think your garage gym is vaulted. Explain to me, Ali, real quick. I'm sorry for being ignorant to it, but when you say vaulted, tell me what you mean. I do have very high ceilings, so I can go up pretty high. I can't do like muscle ups because I bang my head on the ceiling. Actually, I can't do muscle ups because I can't do muscle ups. But if I could, I couldn't do one. But yeah, I got a pretty high ceiling, and so it is not limited to 8 feet. But a lot of gyms are, a lot of people homes are, and that's why they build these most of this equipment is a little bit lower. I think the M4 Mikolo Smith machine is 86 inches tall. You do the math on what that is. I forget. And I think the Fitness Reality is 83, if I can remember correctly. I forget. Check the video. Watch my video. It got all of that in it. But I can't remember. But I would say, just think about even if it's your rack. I would just think about, don't jump off into it because you get excited and then you wind up, feeling like, something. You start doing a little bit more homework after you hit that purchase button and you get that thing built and you realize, dang, here's something, maybe it's even cheaper. You know what I'm saying? It could be a number of reasons why you might look at a different piece of equipment after you bought something. So take your time, y'all. It's a big investment and you building something that you want to be using for a lifetime. I don't think most of you are building out home gyms and garage gyms for a space that you only intend on being in for a couple of months, all right? My garage and basement are 8 foot high below the living room and bedroom, so things like jump rope I do outside. I know higher end power cages are pretty tall with pull up, and that's true. A lot of them are, absolutely. I think, like I said, I think what I have in here all fit in your space. But I can't, a lot of times y'all have to look around when I'm doing my jump rope and things like too. And a lot of times I do the same and go outside. So I feel you on that, Ali, 100%, man. Definitely, 100%. It's all your space. The restrictions of your actual space are going to have a big part of what you can and cannot include in your space. And that's just something we all got to deal with. Because for me, I had already bought the Sunny Health and Fitness rack. And then I got this, whenever you see me reaching in here over to my right, that's where my Mikolo M4 Smith machine is. But when I open up my garage door, I couldn't have put this over there because it would have been too tall for parts of that, the track that my garage door actually are riding on. So that was an issue. So even in my space, there was an issue. I have issues with space. But then, next thing I'm gonna tell you, when you're thinking about things like your benches, man, I'm gonna tell you right now, I see benches out there for $400, $500, $600, and it's just an adjustable weight bench. I'm gonna tell you right now, I ain't doing it. I ain't never doing it. I'm balling on a budget. I don't care how big my budget get. I'm not buying a $500 bench because a bench is a bench to a degree, and I'll go into what I mean by that. When you look at the weight that it says these benches can hold, that includes your weight. So if you got, a bench that says it's a 600-pound weight bench and you 300 pounds, you need to be thinking about you not benching more than 300 pounds on that bench because you pushing the limits of what that bench can withstand. But man, most humans can't do it. All right, most humans can't. If you benching 225, give yourself some love because we in an elite group. All right. And you mentioned 200s, you're in the elite group. If you mention your body weight, you're in the elite group. Most people can't do it. So a lot of times people get caught up, and I know we work out, we have garage gyms, home gyms, backyard gyms, so we are capable of doing a lot of these things, but hear me out. You start looking at, what other people have and what you see us reviewing on these channels, and we talking about, giving you all of the metadata or giving you all the details about what, how long, how tall, how much it can hold. Guess what, y'all? Most of y'all never benching 800. You never getting on there and weighing 300 and benching another 500 pounds. So you need a bench that you can withstand over 800 pounds for. Now, y'all can explain to me why this would be more of an issue for if you can't, tell me, are you standing on it with 400 pounds, doing 400 pounds bench step ups with a barbell on your back? So don't get caught up because you hear us tell you what it can do, or you research what it can do when it comes to a bench. There is things you want to look for. Do you want that bench to be stable? Because if you do things like box jumps and things like that, you don't want it to tip over. If you're doing bench step ups with a barbell, you want to be very safe when you're doing those. You want it to be sturdy. You want to look for things like, I was about to lean back and show y'all the bench. I'm sitting on a bench right now. I'm sitting on an ER Kane lat pull down tower, and some of the stuff that I look for is how long the edge of the top of the pad and the first bar that's behind it, those 2 bars or single bar that runs behind. You don't want a bench that has 5 or 6 inches of just backboard space, because if you jump on it or you hit a blunt force on it, you can crack it, because a lot of times these benches are no more than a ½ inch thick, that wood underneath. Sometimes they're 3/4 inch, like the Fitness Reality 2000 XL. 2000 XL. Mom, you're going to be disappointed. I can't remember the full name. Detachable leg restraint bench. My favorite bench of all time, that bench, okay? I do the heavier bench. I switch from the Flybird to and he And that's what I was about to talk about. And so you want a quality bench, right? You just need a quality bench. That bench that he's talking about is that fitness reality bench. And if something happens to your bench and you need a commercial grade bench that is marked as consumer grade, that's your bench. Hands down. Justin, I need you to reach out in the comments and show me some love about how great that bench is, because he just wrote that it's a massive difference. And I'm going to tell y'all right now, that's bar none the best bench I've ever owned. It's a beast. Now, it's 63 pounds, but it does have, you can roll it and stuff like that. But I'm going to tell you right now, y'all, it's unreal how good a bench that is. And I feel like you could take a bunch of those, walk them over to 24-hour fitness, put them in there, and people would be like, man, nice bench. It's an amazing bench, y'all. And it knocked the blocks off of my Kepi 2000 Pro, which is my next best bench that I've ever reviewed. But it really, as much as I love that bench and as great as that Kepi is, it can't even compete with the fitness reality bench. The only reason that fitness reality bench isn't in this garage is because it spent 3 years outside, and it looked a little rough around the edges. So I don't want to have it in here because I built this thing out new. But if I needed to purchase another bench and I needed a beast mode bench, it would be that Fitness Reality 2000 bench, y'all. I'm telling you, I can't even stress enough what a game changer that bench is. And I say all that to say, get you a good bench. Now, they've been hard to come by. I've seen them all of a sudden. I paid like $179 for that bench. And at some point, people was telling me they were $300, I guess because they weren't, they were on back order or something of that nature. But you could usually get that bench for less than $200. Now, that bench, and that's for you guys who, I would get that bench. I'm going to say it. I'm just going to put it out there. You don't have to use my link. I wish you would. If you're watching this the first time, I appreciate y'all supporting me with the Amazon clicks. But if I was going to get a bench today and I was going to tell anybody to get any bench that I've ever reviewed, I would say go with that bench if you're strong. Now, that bench weighs 63 pounds, and so it is definitely next level because most of these benches weigh like 25 and 26 pounds when they got that 600 weight load capacity, maximum weight capacity. But that bench is beast mode. And once again, I'm going to go back to buying the best you can get one time, okay? Buying the best you can get one time. Because the minute you have to replace something, like bands, for instance, I kept getting those really cheap pull-up bands because I looked at the Rogue bands and I'm like, dang, I'm not paying, $80 for one band, but I bought like 4 sets of bands over the years. I got a buddy who also is a trainer, and he walk in, he done had them bands for 10 years. And so another big thing I can tell you about building out your home gym, garage gym, backyard gym the first time is try to buy something that's going to give you an opportunity to not reach in your pocket twice for that one piece of equipment. Because if you love building out your gym, you're going to want something else. And that'll give you an opportunity to put those chips to the side so you can. All right? Yeah. Yeah, that Flightbird is honestly, I don't have a bench that's comparable to that. And the most comparable bench I have to that is the Kepi 2000 Pro. And that is a nice bench. It's a really nice bench. It feels good, got nice pads. If I never had the Fitness Reality bench, that would be my number one bench that I would, tell you guys to check out. But that bench costs like $40 more than the Fitness Reality bench. Okay, it's lighter, it's 50 pounds instead of 60. But I'm gonna tell you, you can't go wrong with that bench, you guys. You can't go wrong with that bench that Justin is talking about. But then, like I said, Justin just showed me that if you, when I say Justin, I'm looking in the comments here, that he had to buy twice, right? He bought one and then he bought again. And I'm just trying to keep you guys from doing that. And that's why I'm doing this live stream. And listen, y'all, I'm about to start live streaming like a couple, 2 or 3 times a week, okay? And it's gonna be a lot like this. I could do these, you know, I could do like a super polished live stream and reach out to me right now if you here. Let me know. I could do a super polished live stream where I roll in video of different things we talking about, and those can happen a little less frequently. Or I could come on and say, hey, today I'm just going to talk about the Bowflex SelectTech 552s that I've owned for 11 years. And I can go on and give you 30 minutes, 45 minutes, let you ask questions about that. And I could do them much more frequently. What do y'all think I should do? I'm looking for your help on this one, because I'm torn, because I'm used to doing such high level videos for YouTube. I'm torn on what you guys would expect from me from a live stream perspective. So please let me know, and I can use that information to try to figure out where I'm gonna go with these live streams. But I would like to be able to do them a lot more. But anyway, we were talking about the sorry, I've been a long day. We're talking about the benches. I trained, did my workout this morning at 4:15 a.m. Before my first client, Stewart, that I trained at 5. And then I trained another 11 people. And then I had like an hour and a half, and I came in here and I set all this up, and then I started, this. So I'm running on fumes. And matter of fact, I'm about to get up and go over there and grab me a protein drink real quick, because I'm about at least 60 grams down from where I should be right now, but we'll fix that in a minute. But next thing I'm gonna talk about is dumbbells. Okay, obviously, we should have probably talked about these a little bit earlier. Yep, I get it in early. I get it in early, Justin, because otherwise, if I try to do it at the end of the day, I just want to decompress. I get it in early. I get them endorphins going. I feel real good about myself. I'm on fire with my clients. And if I try to do it after work, man, I sit down and I just want to lay down, kick my feet up, because I'm walking all day, because I'm standing up, demoing, picking up weights and so forth. It's wild. As a trainer, one year, I moved 2 tons of weights in one day. And when I say that, you get a couple athletes coming in, and I say, okay, we're going to max bench today. And I take 145 off. I put it onto a bench, onto a Olympic barbell. Then I put one on the other side, and I put it back. What I just do, by taking them on and off, I just moved 180 pounds, right? And you do that throughout the day, I could easily move 4,000 or 5,000 pounds in a day just being a trainer. So it's crazy to think about. You ever thought about that? Anyway, let's talk about them dumbbells. Now, this one, I'm a little torn on dumbbells, because now that I have the space, I really wish I had a rack, because now I got space. But when I first started, I didn't have space. And the amount of money that a full rack, that's going to hit you for $1,400 straight, $1,400, maybe, a little bit more than that, depending on if you're going from 5 to 60, or 5 to 80 pounds. But let's talk about what I got. Right over there, I have a set of Power Block Bowflex SelectTech 552s, and I also got a pair of Power Blocks over there. Now, here's my mistake. Actually, the Bowflex were a gift, so I guess it's not a mistake. But those cost $400. Then your Power Blocks cost another $400. That's $800 in adjustable dumbbells sitting over there. Now, Had I bought the Bowflex and not realized that I was going to need weights that went above 52 pounds, I would have to buy the Bowflex once and then get power blocks, because those have expansion kits. So you buy the power blocks for 400, but then you want them to go from 50 up to 70. You got to add another $180, and then if you want to expand them up to 90, that's another $180. So now we're looking at those costing more in the line of $800 for those power blocks. How far off am I now from that full set of dumbbells? And now, obviously, this is a space issue depending on what you're doing. I'm just trying to get your wheels turning on the type of thought patterns that should be going into buying something like what we're talking about here today, okay? And again, I apologize for the stuttering and so forth. I have always stuttered, and a lot of times I'm cutting them out in the videos when I'm, going off the top of my head, and I don't want y'all to hear me doing that when I'm trying to talk about a product, because, that's what they tell us to do when you got a polished channel like I do. But I'm human and I'm normal, and it's not easy for me to just get up here and talk into this piece of glass and without having to think about what I'm doing and stutter and so forth. Sometimes, hey, I'm giving you the true me, and I hope y'all like it. So that's just something to think about. But if I was getting a set of adjustable dumbbells, I would look at Nubia or something that would actually expand up a little higher, or even the Bowflex. The Bowflex, honestly, to be quite honest with you, are my favorite dumbbells. They are my favorite dumbbells today, even though I got the power blocks. I just like how durable they are. I like how they turn easy. Now, there's some others that turn right from the knob, like those Kepi 25-pound dumbbells that I reviewed. I wish those went up to 80 pounds because I love those. And, if I could get somebody to send me a pair of ones that go up to 80 that I could actually, that would actually adjust with the knob or with knobs on the side or the actual handle, I would take it. All right, that's Dusty. That's Dusty. That's my Roomba you hearing right there. If you heard that, she mad because I didn't run her last night, and so she just giving me a little error sign right now. She a he. I don't want people to think because she clean up in here, I'm calling her, but I named my Roomba Dusty. And I love that. That thing, they clean this garage gym up like crazy. I love having it. It makes the gym look new every day. But, that dumbbell situation is I would say, again, think it out far, you guys. Look ahead. Don't think about what what you could do at this very moment. If it's something, if you got like some old school plates sitting around your house and it's doing the job for right now, don't upgrade for the sake of upgrading. Upgrade because you can upgrade and you can actually level up, all right? Having a set of 1-inch dumbbells is no different, because, a lot of times people got the old school 1-inch dumbbells, and then they get the 2-inch Olympic style. Use those 1-inch until you can make the proper upgrade, because I'm telling you, you end up in this game repeating and buying things that you shouldn't be getting. That's what I do as an influencer, as they like to call us, but I want to just say I have a YouTube channel, but I'm here to review for you guys. So that's what they call us. And I'm telling you, I made so many mistakes, y'all. One of my biggest mistakes is not hitting Facebook Marketplace up more, because I hit that up and I can buy things to review, because it's unbelievable. In my comments, people always jump in like, yeah, man, I went to Marketplace and I got a fitness reality bench for $50. Somebody hit me with an unreal. Somebody bought one of those. If you look in the comments of my Sunny Health and Fitness Squad assist rowing right video. They was telling me how they picked up a rowing rod for like $25. That thing cost $100, and it was brand new. He had to put it together. So I'm telling you, that's one of the biggest mistakes that a lot of that I've made, is not looking at Facebook or offer up a Craigslist for your gear. I got those plates, those wider plates. I got a full set of those with a bench for $300 off Craigslist years ago, and I love those things. I ain't never giving them up, and I wish they don't make them anymore. But I will, and those aren't bumper plates. They look like bumper plates, but they're rubber coated and they're amazing. So that's something to think about. Okay, having a nice set of dumbbells, and now we can talk about those. When I love those, they fantastic. But when we talk about plates, if you're not talking about if you're not talking about bumper plates, we just talking about iron. All right, we just talking about iron. I don't see a whole lot of need to get the prettiest set of Olympic plates. All right, when we talk about bumper plates, that could be, that's a little bit different because they're going to have a coating to them and they're going to look different. But when it comes to iron, straight up Olympic plates, man, buy the cheapest thing you can find that are of, decent quality. Go look for something that says it got 5 stars and get the cheapest ones, because it's just pushing iron, y'all. Remember, like, people could push rocks around it. People could pick up, logs and work out with them. So I wouldn't overspend in a set of Olympic plates unless you just got big budget and you a baller and you could afford to buy a $800 set of Olympic plates that go from 5 to 45 pounds in every with every match, meaning 2 of each, when you could get it at Dick's Sporting Goods for like $290 with an Olympic bar. All right, so I wouldn't overspend on plates, y'all. How about the Flybirds or some of the lesser priced adjustable ones? I think, about to sneeze. To answer your question, Justin, I think a lot of those dumbbells, I haven't ever owned the Flybirds, but most of them, I feel like they weights, right? But you just want to make sure that, I think the Flybirds only go up to 50 pounds. But I do think it's still a dumbbell. And as long as you get a quality dumbbell, things to think about. I'll give you a couple of things to think about when you're dealing with dumbbells. Try to get something that's steel or rubber coated, because a lot of times with some of these cheaper versions of different dumbbells, the metal that they use, it's almost like I don't want to call it clay, but if you drop them, they can actually crack. The edge can crack off, and you'll see half of that dumbbell sitting there. All right. So, and I've noticed that with some of the cheaper ones that I've even like the Kepis, the 25-pound Kepis that I reviewed. I'm not sure that, it tells you not to drop any of these adjustable dumbbells, but I'm not sure if I just dropped that from the top and it hit one of the sides of those pieces, that it wouldn't crack. So when you think about looking at some of the less expensive ones, you want something that's coated or that is straight steel. You know what I'm saying? And now I forget the name of this metal that they use a lot of times, that it looks really good because it has a little kind of polished look to it. This chair is getting uncomfortable after an hour sitting on it. But it's something to look for. Another thing to think about is the locking mechanisms. Now, if you remember, I reviewed some what is it called? It's Norditrek adjustable dumbbells. Those black ones, they black and blue. Now they upgraded them since, but you want to look at that locking mechanism, because sometimes when we lifted those and we were doing various power moves, one of those pieces would fly out. And I showed you in the video. And that, to me, is means that I don't want that dumbbell. Because if you're not thinking, whenever you're using an adjustable dumbbell, you want to use it where the horseshoe, the open end of the horseshoe is facing down. That way it can never fall off when you're doing an overhead press or you're doing a bench. But if you don't have it that way and one of them come down, it could crack your tooth out, break your dome, whatever. But so you want to think about that it got a strong locking mechanism, and you want to see that people say that it does. You want to look for things that have a lot of reviews. I don't really buy things until I do a lot of research on whether or not it's good, because I really don't tend to do reviews on the stuff that I get that's trash, because I don't want you to spend 10 minutes of your time watching a video of something that I'm going to tell you not to buy. And I don't really want, quite frankly, I don't want to spend the production time editing a video on something that I'm not going to suggest you buy, because it's a waste of my time, your time, and it had already been a waste of my money, and I'm mad. But anyway, dumbbells. So I like the ones that I have that I like the most are obviously, I said the Bowflex. I like the power blocks. I do like the Keppies, there's another one. There's a power one that I reviewed from my girl's place up in Wisconsin. One of my besties, she has these, is this called Pro Power or something like that? I forget the name of those, but those are another good one. You got to look at I got a playlist for most everything that I review. So I got a playlist somewhere on that you could check out that has all the adjustable dumbbell reviews I've done. One for all the benches, the power racks, and all the cardio gear. But check it out. I hear jets outside. I think the air show must be coming up. So the grips. Let's answer Justin's questions about a question about the power blocks. That is something that it is an issue. It's an issue mainly because you can't really do things like overhead tricep extensions, better known as French press. That's where we're going over the head this way, okay? Because putting two hands into those power blocks is not great. And trying to grab them from the side is just not feasible either, okay? So that is an issue. But, and it's also awkward when you trying to, like, if you got a buddy and, my boy got the 90s and, he wants you to hand them to him, or he's doing this set and you want to take them from him. And, at the gym, when you're using regular 90-pound dumbbells, you don't mind kind of like boom, boom, dropping them on the floor. When you're using adjustable dumbbells, you don't want to do that. So a lot of times you're going to grab them from your buddy, and it's real awkward to get your hands in them to do that. Can y'all hear that? That's the Chicago Air Show is clearly about to kick off, because I'm hearing jets flying and they must be bringing them in. So I apologize for the loud noises. So the power blocks, that is an issue. And it's something that I would say, go to like somewhere like Dick's or somewhere, Justin, or somewhere, hopefully if you have someplace in your neighborhood, and see if you can put your hands in there so you can feel what it feels like. But the only two instances that I can tell you that it's a major problem is doing the French press, doing something like a bench pullover, or handing the weights off to a friend, or taking them for a friend. But we use them every day in here. I like I said, I like the Bowflexes more, but my Bowflexes only go to 52.5. But that's the only issue about that. Now, as far as let's talk about Olympic barbells. Now, I got several. I got the Lion School. I got a generic one. Then I got one that I haven't reviewed yet. and it's a major one. It's a $300 bar, and I'm tripping right. It's called by Tribe Wide. It's a Tribe Wide, and that bar it's amazing, but that's pricey, right? Now I'm here for you guys, all right? So I haven't even reviewed that bar yet, and I'm gonna say it right now, man. If you're not doing CrossFit style work with your Olympic barbell, I don't know why you're paying $300 for it. All right, if you over, I'm 53 years old. You getting older, and you're not doing CrossFit work, or you don't project you're gonna be doing CrossFit work. Maybe you can get you $100 bar. Put that other $200 into something else. We did talk about being future proof. If you're young and you want to do a lot of really aggressive movements, and you need that bar to spin perfectly, minimum knurling, those are the things that you get. Those are the little tiny advantages that you see that actually make that bar $200 more. I would avoid any bar that says it has aggressive knurling, because sometimes when you go to grab that bar, it can just you need gloves for some of that stuff. All right, but definitely get yourself a bar, but don't overspend on that, y'all. I mean, I'm trying to say we trying to figure out how to set up our garage gym like a pro. Don't be goofy and buy over purchase because you feel like it is a certain color and it matches your gym, so you getting it, and it's something that you could get that does the same thing, and it's an equal value, and it costs less. All right, don't be out here trying to show look it down like these the peasants over here, and you over here in the penthouse. All right, the penthouse can have cheap cups too, right? But that are also functional. So the next thing I'm gonna talk to you guys about is making sure you got you some nice bands. It got kind of rusty, so are you working outside, or you, Justin? Because my outdoor bar definitely got rusty, but I don't know. I guess there's humidity and different things like that could play a part in there. And I appreciate him putting that up in there, because I really haven't had that problem in my 10-month-old garage gym. So there's a comment I always talk about. Yeah, in the garage. Yeah, see, I don't really. We'll see. I'm a year. Like I said, I'm 10 months in, and I'm gonna give you guys another review in another year, and another 6 months, and let you know how things are going. But I don't have that problem in here yet, and we'll see how it goes. But I also, I'm running fans, and I got the AC unit going. I still run it. It doesn't get this place as cool as I like it to, but it does cool it off in here more than what it would be if I didn't have them going. So I don't really have that humidity problem in here either, or I don't think I have it. But as far as cardio gear goes, y'all, I'm gonna tell you this comment, and I'm gonna tell you, and this is the truth of all truth. There's one piece of cardio gear that I think every garage gym should have. I think it's the best piece of cardio gear, and I have several. I got rowers, I got bikes, and I got the assault bike. All right? The assault bike, y'all, is bar none the best piece of cardio equipment that I've ever owned. Now, in the beginning, I had a love-hate for it. I hated it because I got it and I was like, man, we can't really use this. I got a lot of, people that are, heavier, that are older, that are tiny. And I felt like this thing is for animals because it is so difficult to use. Excuse me. But over time, I've learned how to use it and get a lot out of it. So that thing, I used to think you can't get on it and go for 40 minutes, because it's so hard. And for those of you who don't know what an assault bike is, it's an old school piece of equipment. It has a big fan in the front, pedals, and you actually pedal and you kind of row at the same time to use it. But owning that, it is a great way to warm up because it's an upper body warm up and a lower body warm up. It's a great power exercise because you can get on it and you can say, let's do 20 calories as hard as you can go, fast as you can go, hard as you can go. Give me 20 calories. It has several different options on this display, and you can go crazy and just work for strength and power. But you could also get on it and you could say, I'm going to do a Tabata series. I'm going to work for 20 seconds, rest for 10 seconds. That's going to be a 3-minute and 50 and do 8 cycles as it's programmed to do. That's a 3-minute, 50-second workout. And then I say rest. Let your heart rate, that'll jack your heart rate up to, 160, 150, 170, wherever you are, whatever you're capable of doing. But then you take that little time to just kind of sit there and rest. And then you drop that heart rate back down to what you're comfortable with, and then you go again. That's how you can extend that time on that bike out to 40 minutes. And you can sit back and burn 500-600 calories, which in a half hour, where we found out a lot more difficult to do on something like one of the rowers that I have, or like one of the bikes that I own. And so these are just different options, and your treadmill. I don't have a treadmill yet. Hopefully I'm going to be getting one within the next couple of months. We're going to see. Justin, boy, that boy done hooked that gym up. You done. I see right now that there's been some progress over there because you got your gym looking nice, man. How you like that Echo? That's I know I've seen all the reviews, so I know it's a phenomenal bike, But what do you think, man? Let me know. I'm curious, of what it's like and how long you had it and what kind of workouts you do. If you could take some time, I know you have my email address, but throw some of that in the comments for me if you could, Justin, so that the people could see it. But I would also, if you can't do it here, hit me with an email because I would just like to see, some of the ways you use yours. And maybe I can introduce some of that to some of my people because, like I said, this is a community channel. I appreciate you guys, and I definitely want to hear back from you guys and maybe incorporate some of what I hear from you guys in my videos and in my gym. And it definitely, if you have a suggestion for a piece of equipment, make sure you email me at info@usawafitness.com, and you can find all that information in the description of this video after it's posted. Make sure you look down there and give me some of that information. Hit me off with some of that information so I can continue to get products in here that I can introduce to, the YouTube community. But I do have a few rowers. I like my rowers. I got that Dripex rower over there. I also got the Usawa 2000R. I use those like crazy. And then I got a Usawa. I don't have the magnetic stationary bike, but I do have one of those. And, I don't feel a need to get a Peloton. I think it's dope. Do I like a Peloton? Absolutely. Do I think it's a great design and all of that? Yeah. But I got Garage Gym. We already motivated. We already know that, we're going to come in here and work out for X amount of time. And I would rather do a circuit or a HIIT workout with dumbbells and get a strength workout, getting a bunch of progressive overload, than get on the bike and work out because I got all of this, There's rarely going to be a situation on my off days, and if I don't want to do a bike, I do something like I do inchworms. I'll sit down and say, okay, I'm going to do 50 inchworms, and I'm going to do, 50 burpees. I'm going to do 50 jumping jacks, 50 forward lunges, 50 squats. Those type of workouts to me are great when I don't want to use weights, and I want to get my heart rate up. I like having a heart rate monitor. I love being able to track my workouts, and I'm using this like a Galaxy watch because I'm an Android guy. I know a lot of you guys are Apple guys and gals, but they got like cheap trackers that are like $25 that where you don't need all of this the extra stuff that a smartwatch has, and that you could track and get your heart rate and all that kind of stuff the same way. I would say invest in one of those, a Fitbit, anything like that. Looking for a stand for my Power Block 90 so that I don't have to let them on the. See, I know, right? I use a plyo box, dude. So like I got a plyo box over there that I have both my Power Blocks and my Bowflex on, and those were cheap. And because one, my client garbage picked the little one, and the big one I got off of Craigslist or something like that. And for me, oh yeah, you see I have them on the plyo box. Yeah. Do I have any? Man, listen, Justin, or I'm sorry, that's not Justin. Lostlessness. Yeah. I would say, do the same thing I did and go on to like straight up, go on to Craigslist, go on to Facebook Marketplace, and places like that for stuff like that first, because that thing is indestructible. It's gonna last for who knows how long, and it does the job. It may not look as pretty as the actual stand, but what, I'm gonna pay $200 for that stand and put them plates on it when I could put them on something like that, and that still looks good. So I forgot what the actual name for those are, but they work perfect, and they got dual feature, right? Because if I pull them mugs off of there, we could jump up on them too. So, it was a great situation for me, but I would look there first. Unfortunately, I don't have any true recommendations for you at the very moment, but I'll think about that, and maybe I'll even see if I can just get the exact model number of those, do a review on those, and let you guys know what I think about those, if that'll help with anything. And also, thank you for being here, man. I don't know if I've seen you here before, but I appreciate you coming to check out my live stream. My first live stream from my garage gym. I've had this gym up for 10 months now, and this is the first live stream. I'm gonna be doing them from here on out. I hope. If this worked out okay, I gotta see what it looks like and everything at the end. But this is it. So yeah, let me think about it. If there's anything else I want to touch on before we go, I got those Lion School Olympic barbells and also easy bars. Those are pretty cheap. I do like the Lion School brand because it got like some really nice spin. It had better spin than my other bars. They're a little bit, they got that e-coating finish. That just means that's like electronic paint they put on there. And so it's supposed to be better for rust, which is what Justin was asking about earlier. And maybe that's why I haven't seen any of that. But I have only had those for a few months. So we'll see in a year or so if they're keeping up with the Joneses. We gonna see, if they start to rust out. I don't know. We're gonna find out. But I've been talking a lot. Do any of y'all have any questions? Any other questions? I'm not done, but I just want to make sure that I'm not cutting anybody short. If you have some questions, then don't be afraid, y'all. Any questions? You know how they used to tell us when you was in school, and you'd have I don't know if you guys were like this, but I was like this, and I was scared to ask a question because I thought it was a dumb question. And I was afraid it was going to be a dumb question. I was afraid that people were going to, feel it was a dumb question, even though I wanted to know. And then I let school in without actually, figuring out whether or not it was something, that was, I never got a chance to get my question answered. And I try to teach my kids not to be that way. But, sometimes it's scary to ask. And it's definitely scary when, you are reaching out and people know they see your name in there and so forth. But don't be afraid to ask me about anything. I appreciate it. Yep. All right, man. I hope that worked out a little bit, man. Or I don't know if you're a female or male, but I appreciate you taking a second to, to say hello and to ask a question. But I think that's pretty much it. So I'm going to tell y'all right now, usually I have like a bunch of graphics and stuff that I can roll in. But man, everything went haywire just before I started this live stream. And I'm going bare bones. So we don't have our intro music, our closeout music. We not rolling in stuff. There go Dusty again yelling at me. You hear her? She really want to start vacuuming, but she going to have to wait. It's like forgetting to turn my phone down before I do one of these. I should have made sure I shut her up with by putting her on her little charger and turning her off. But with that being said, if y'all don't have any questions, I think I'm gonna wrap it up for today, and hope that y'all gonna check out the next one. I'll be doing these often. They won't always be this long, I promise, but I'm going to start just getting on and talking about the gear that I own. I think the next video I do within the next few nights, I'm going to talk about those Bowflex Select Tech 552s, since they are the piece of equipment that I've had in here the longest. And a lot of people have questions about those often, so I want to do a big, long video. Not this long, because it's only one product, but I do want to do some backup and answer some questions about those so that people who have questions that go beyond what I've done in the 4 or 5 reviews I've done on those things get a chance to ask. All right? Well, I appreciate y'all coming. I hope I answered y'all questions. If you haven't already, hit the like button, hit that button. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, hit that button too. And reach out in the comments of this video or any video if you want to talk to me more about anything that we talked about. Love and peace, everybody. Ow. Take care, y'all.